Pahalgam, raised by Sri Rajnath Singh, Rajnath Singh, Minister of Defence on 29 July 2025. माननीय श्री एस जयशंकर।
Honorable Chairman, sir, it's a privilege to participate in the discussion on Operation Sindoor. And like everybody else in this House, I laud the performance of our armed forces and the results that have done this country so proud. Sir, when the Pahalgam attack happened on April 22nd, it was a shocking attack for a variety of reasons. The manner in which people were killed in front of their families, the fact that the fate was asked before killing them, the intent of destroying the economy of Jammu and Kashmir, which had returned to normalcy and prosperity after the end of Article 370. All of this, it angered the country. There was grief, there was shock. Across the world, there was solidarity, there was sympathy. But the question was, what after that? And the answers were two. One, such an attack was absolutely unacceptable. It crossed our red lines. There had to be severe consequences. And two, there had to be accountability and justice. There had to be accountability of the perpetrators, and they and their supporters had to be brought to justice. Now, the first clear message, sir, of India's anger, of our resolve, of our determination, was the decision taken by the Cabinet Committee on Security immediately, the day after, on 23rd of April. A number of steps were taken. Pakistani visas under SARC were cancelled. The mission was reduced in strength. The military advisors were expelled. But the most important decision was to hold the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. Now, sir, there has been a lot of discussion in the House. Different members have expressed their opinion, as they should. But I think the importance of this step, it's necessary that the House understand and appreciate it. Because, sir, the Indus Waters Treaty in many ways is a very unique agreement. I cannot think of any agreement in the world where a country has allowed its major rivers to flow to the next country without having rights on that river. So it was an extraordinary agreement. And it's important when we have put it in abeyance to recall the history of this agreement. Now, I know, sir, yesterday I heard some people are uncomfortable with history. They prefer that historical things are forgotten. Maybe it doesn't suit them. They only like to recall some things. So let me, for the benefit of the House, sir, mention three important observations which were made in Parliament on the issue of the Indus Waters Treaty. This was on November 30th, 1960. And the observations were made by the then Prime Minister on this subject. First, he says, I would like to know, is this House now to judge the quantum of supply of water or the quantum of money to be given? I confess I cannot judge it offhand. So the Prime Minister of India then is telling the Parliament, you cannot be a judge of the quantum of water. You should not be looking at how much money we are giving to Pakistan. That is not your business. Let me, sir, give you a second quote. The Prime Minister then goes on, sir, because many members objected to the Indus Waters Treaty. He says, honorable members have been saying that there was a partition. What has happened is none of our lookout. We should not give them anything. That is neither, now this is the Prime Minister's view, sir, then Prime Minister's view. That is neither a strictly legal, constitutional, or just approach to this problem. If we follow that approach, it would mean turning a great part of West Punjab into almost a wilderness. West Punjab is Pakistani Punjab. So the Prime Minister is saying, let us do this treaty because the Indian Parliament, the Indian government, the country should put the interests of Pakistani Punjab. So not a word about the interests of the Kisan of Kashmir, of the people of Punjab.
Please take your seat. Nothing is going on because please, nothing is going on because
Not
सिर्फ माननीय विदेश मंत्री की बातें ही रिकॉर्ड पे जा रही हैं.
Not a word about Rajasthan, not a word about Himachal, but it is turning a great part of West Punjab.
Take your seat.
Sorry, sir, we can't execute on this.
Into almost a wilderness.
Lying here.
Sir,
Please take your seat.
He's not lying.
सीट पर बैठ करके बोलना सही नहीं है, आप जानते हैं.
sir, then I'll give you the third quote.
Please.
He now says, because people are saying, you are paying money. We felt that in the circumstances, this is the right payment. And we purchased a settlement, if you like. We purchased peace, and it is good for both countries. 1960, sir, he says he purchased peace. We did not purchase peace, sir. It was a purchase of appeasement, because within 1 year, the same Prime Minister accepted that with Pakistan, there was no peace. Now, sir, I hear some noises across the bench. I would be very happy to submit, sir, the Prime Minister's speech in the record of the Lok Sabha and to keep it on the table. Now, I mentioned this, sir, because
Please.
that very treaty,
Please.
that very treaty,
आपका अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगा, आप बोलें अपनी बात को. Please.
that very treaty mentions in the preamble that the Indus Waters Treaty is done in a spirit of goodwill and friendship. Sir, since 1960, we have had neither goodwill nor friendship. We've had terrorism, we've had attacks on our population, we've had wars. Such a treaty had to be dealt with, and this government dealt with it. सभापति महोदय, मैं एक बार और दोहराना चाहता हूं कि उनको फिक्र थी पाकिस्तानी पंजाब, उनको फिक्र जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के किसानों पर नहीं थी, उनको फिक्र राजस्थान के किसानों की नहीं थी, उनको फिक्र हिमाचल पर नहीं थी.
Ruchi ji has right to speak. No, please.
और
You'll get your opportunity to speak. Please.
सर, उनका कहना था कि संसद का ना हक है कि कितना पानी जाए ना कितना पैसा जाए. और सर, जो वो कहते हैं कि हमने ये शांति की कीमत थी, नहीं सर, ये तुष्टीकरण की कीमत थी. अब सर,
Please. Let the honorable minister speak.
we sir grew up with the belief that nothing can be done.
Please.
Sir, we were told for 60 years.
आपको मौका मिलेगा, आप बोले. Please.
Sir, we were told for 60 years that nothing can be done. Pandit Nehru's mistakes cannot be corrected. The Narendra Modi government shows it can be corrected. Like Article 370 was corrected, the Indus Waters Treaty is being corrected. It will be held in abeyance until Pakistan irrevocably gives up its support of terrorism. Sir, we had won. We had warned that blood and water cannot flow together. Today, we are demonstrating that what we say we will do, blood and water will not flow. Now, sir, let me come to Operation Sindoor. It was also said that our actions are focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature, and we are living up to a commitment. I will come to that commitment, sir, in the UN Security Council, that those responsible for the attack will be held accountable. Now, sir, the House knows that India has faced a special cross-border challenge, not today, not for 10 years, not for 25 years, from 1947. That from few months after our independence, the cross-border terrorism started when so-called tribal invaders were sent across and they came into Jammu and Kashmir. And from that time, sir, we have had to lead the global fight against terrorism. There is no country in the world, especially I would say after 1980s, there is no country in the world which has had to suffer the kind of terrorism, which has taken the kind of casualties we have, which has seen, so many states, so many facilities, so many people attacked in this inhumane manner. But sir, if we have to shape global thinking, if we have to convince others, we must be clear ourselves. And again, I refer to history. Because why do I refer to history? Because what was decided in the past is not a debating point. The decisions of the past have an impact on the present, have an impact even on the future. We inherit a thinking about us, we inherit a policy, we inherit actions. So we have to see what actually was the record. Now the reality, sir, was, if you look for that decade before the Modi government came to power, we have had a series of attacks. And yes, this is well known. In Mumbai in 2006, because this attack is particularly important, 187 people died.
Please.
In 2000,
You cannot dictate what he will speak. No. Let him speak. He will speak. Only this will go on.
in 2008,
आपको जब इतना मौका मिलेगा तो बोले, आप दूसरे को बोलने से रोक नहीं सकते. प्लीज आप बोले, आपकी बात ही रिकॉर्ड पे जाएगी.
so in
आप खुद अपना पक्ष रखते हैं, दूसरा सुनने को तैयार नहीं. प्लीज.
in 2007, 44 people died in Hyderabad. In 2008, the Mumbai attacks of 26/11, the world still remembers it. 246 people died. In Jaipur in 2008, 64 people died. In Ahmedabad in 2008, 57 people died. In Delhi, sir, I am a person from Delhi. I remember the bomb blast which took place in 2008. So we went through a series of attacks. Now, why am I reminding the House of this? I am reminding.
Please, Mr. John Britas, please take yours.
I am reminding the House because when major terrorist incident happened, the world watched. The world watched how did India respond, and the world drew lessons. So, how did we respond? After 2006, I refer to the Mumbai train bombing. July 2006 was the bombing. In September 2006, within 3 months, we had a meeting in Havana where it was agreed between the Prime Ministers of India and Pakistan. Instead of holding Pakistan responsible, we said we condemn all acts of terrorism and agree that it's a scourge that needs to be dealt with. And By the way, we will resume our composite dialogue. Now, there are two important points which flow out of it, and they are relevant because this shapes the world's perception of how India is likely to respond. It shaped the world's perception that within 3 months, you are actually equating the victim and the perpetrator. And in a move away from what was agreed to in January 2004 between Prime Minister Vajpayee and General Musharraf, where we Pakistanis had assured us that their territory and territory under their control will not be used to attack us. Now we are saying, yes, terrorism happened. It happened 3 months ago. A lot of people died in Mumbai, but fine, we will go on with the composite dialogue. So this, sir, started shaping the thinking of the world about India's response to terrorism. Now, if this was not bad enough, it was actually Mumbai, 26th level. Now, there is not a single person in this house, not a single person in this country who will ever forget or forgive 26th level. Now, in the case of Mumbai, sir, Mumbai attack happened November 2008. By July 2009, there is a meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh. And in Sharm el-Sheikh, I remind the House, sir, it was agreed terrorism is the main threat to both countries. Both countries. I mean, that guy does that attack. And we say terrorism is a threat to both countries. Terrorist action on terrorism should not be linked to composite dialogue. And of all things, sir, there was an astounding connection to Balochistan. I mean, we are allowing the Pakistanis to imply as though we are doing something wrong out there. And this is not just a statement, sir. It is coming after the most horrific attack in Mumbai just a few months ago. Now, the thinking behind this, sir, because I have to recall history to remind the House how much has changed in the last 10 years. The thinking behind this, I quote from the book of the National Security Advisor of the UPA government. He says the simple answer to why India did not immediately attack Pakistan is that after examining the options at the highest levels of the government, the decision makers concluded that more was to be gained from not attacking Pakistan than from attacking. So, sir, this is the thinking. So, I sir, want to today when we are hearing talk hyphenation. Sir, these are people who are self-hyphenating themselves. They are telling Pakistan, you and I are the same level. We are both victims. So they did not need anybody in America or anywhere else to hyphenate them. They were doing it themselves. And most important, sir, they had routinized, they had normalized terrorism. They made up, हाँ terrorism हो गया, but चलिए dialogue के लिए चले जाते हैं. हर बार सर इतनी बड़ी घटना होती है, मुंबई 26/11 होती, ट्रेन बॉम्बिंग होती है, कुछ महीने बाद आप कहते हैं नहीं ठीक है वो हो गया, चलिए बात के लिए चलते. अब आप ही बताइए सर, दुनिया आपको सीरियसली कैसे लेगी? आप दुनिया क्या सोचेगी? और आप सर जो 2004 में जो तय हुआ कि उनके यहाँ से कुछ भी होगा तो जिम्मेदारी उनकी होगी, आप तो भूल गए उसको.
प्लीज चेयर पर बैठकर ना बोलना है, ये सदन की परंपरा नहीं है. मेरा सबसे अनुरोध होगा, आप सबको मौका मिलेगा, अपना पक्ष रखेंगे. प्लीज.
अब सर मैं समझाना चाहूंगा कि पिछले दशक में क्या बदला. नरेंद्र मोदी के सरकार में आतंकवाद के बारे में क्या बदला? एक सर के आतंकवाद टेररिज्म, अब हम लोग सर इसमें
माननीय गृह मंत्री के बयान के अलावा कोई और चीज रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं जा रही है. प्लीज
सर,
माननीय विदेश मंत्री, सॉरी, करेक्टेड, स्टैंड करेक्टेड, विदेश मंत्री, प्लीज.
let me tell you, sir, what has changed in the last decade. And I will keep it very sharp and short. Number one, we have been able to put terrorism on the global agenda. We have every forum, BRICS ho, Quad ho, SCO ho, bilateral ho. Today, if terrorism is on the global agenda, it is due to the efforts of the Modi government. Number two, sir, we were able to get Masood Azhar and Abdul Rahman Makki, two notorious terrorists, sanctions placed under the sanctions of the UN Security Council 1267. Three, sir, we were some years ago members of the Security Council. We were able to hold a Security Council meeting at the venue of terrorism attack, that is the Taj in Mumbai. That event had a huge impact about global consciousness on terrorism. Fourth, we were able, through bilateral agreements and understandings, get back terrorists from key countries who have been sent back to India under extradition agreements. And I remind you here, sir, that Tahavur Rana, who was wanted for 2611, finally has been brought back by the Modi government to India, who is today facing trial in this country.
Please.
We have exerted.
Please listen to Sanjay ji. Please listen. Please listen.
We have exerted huge pressure on Pakistan through the FATF process. We have convened and we actually had a conference of no money for terror. We have today joined this effort at blocking, identifying financials of terrorists. We were, sir, able to get the Resistance Front listed as a global terrorist organization. And sir, I would like to inform the House that the monitoring team of the UN has submitted its 36th report of the Analytical Support and Sanctions Team. And it mentions, this has just been received, so it is made public today. For the first time, the United Nations report mentions the Resistance Front, TRF, saying that member states have noted that one member state said the Pahalgam attack could not have happened without Lashkar-e-Taiba support, and there was a relationship between LET and TRF. Another member state said attack was carried out by TRF, which is synonymous with LET, and it mentions that Pakistan actually opposed it and said LET was different. So we were able to get into UN a recognition that TRF today is a proxy for the LET and is responsible for fighting. Now, sir, sometimes it is asked, saying, well, these are declarations, what do they matter? They matter, sir, because they shape global opinion. And again, I want to say, what is the change? Because change only comes out through contrast. Yesterday, sir, one honorable member made a reference to BRICS. We just had a BRICS meeting. For the first time, we were able, in a BRICS meeting, to get an explicit reference to a terrorist incident. It says here, the BRICS countries, sir, that we condemn in the strongest terms the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir on 22 April, and we reaffirm our commitment to combating terrorism in all forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. Now, sir, I want to draw a contrast to tell you the change of the last decade. In 2009, there was a BRICS meeting. It was the first BRICS meeting after the Mumbai 2611 attack. There is not even a reference to Mumbai in that BRICS committee. All it says is, we strongly condemn terrorism in all forms and manifestations, reiterate that it has no justification. So today, sir, when people say, okay, where was Indian diplomacy? Indian diplomacy has been successful in getting America to declare TRF as a global terrorist organization, in getting the UN Security Council monitoring team to accept that TRF today is a terrorist entity, in getting BRICS, which is
There is no
composed
running
of some
commentary,
very
Sanjay. No.
difficult countries, to get in BRICS, even to recognize the seriousness of Pahalgam and to say, sir, when people say cross-border terrorism, what border do they mean? Does this have to be spelled out? So the point is that in the last decade, there has been a huge change in India's approach to terrorism. And this change on the ground was demonstrated in Uri, after Uri, in our surgical strike. It was demonstrated in 2019 in the airstrike. And it is today, sir, demonstrated through Operation Sindoor. Now, sir, when Operation Sindoor commenced, a number of countries were in touch with us. I'll speak about that in some detail. Why do countries contact you? Because they want to know what is happening, what is your thinking, how serious is it, how long would it go? And to all the countries, we gave the same message. We gave the message that India is exercising the right to defend itself. We, sir, gave the message that the targets which were selected and hit on the 7th of May are known terrorist headquarters and infrastructure. So some of them, for example, Bhavalpur, is associated with the murder of an American reporter called Daniel Pearl. So the world is aware of this. We gave a message, sir, that we were not open to any mediation, that anything now between us and Pakistan would only be bilateral. We gave a message that we will not accept nuclear blackmail, that whatever talk there may be about nuclear danger, that will not deter us from going ahead with Operation Sindoor. We gave a message that we are now responding to Pakistani attacks and we will keep responding. And if that fighting is to stop, Pakistan must make a request, and that request can only come through the channel of the DGMO. Now, as I said, sir, a number of countries spoke to us. There was, I think, particular interest in the House about the conversations with the United States. So let me share a few words there, sir. So first of all, it is somehow being implied that talking to the United States or being in touch with the United States is itself a problem. Now, the fact is, over a period of time, if you look at our history, you look at world history, countries contact each other at such times. And look at ourselves. I will not talk about what happened in 1962. What were the letters written after 1962? Because even today it hurts me to read what Pandit Nehru wrote to John Kennedy after 1962. But let me refer to 1971. That when the fighting started, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi writes to President Nixon that in this hour of danger, the government and the people of India seek your understanding and urge you to persuade Pakistan to desist forthwith from the policy of wanton.
Please, nothing will go on record. Sanjay ji, baith jaiye, please. You speak.
From the policy of wanton aggression and military adventurism that they have unfortunately embarked on. May I request Your Excellency to exercise your undoubted influence with the government of Pakistan to stop their aggressive activities against India.
Please let him speak. आप उनकी बात सुने आपको मौका मिलेगा जवाब देने। प्लीज हर बार खड़ा होकर डिस्टर्ब। संजय जी, ये गलत परंपरा है। आप अपनी बात करते हैं, दूसरे की बात सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। प्लीज ये जिम्मेदार आचरण नहीं है, ये संसदीय मर्यादा नहीं है। आप अपनी बात कहेंगे, दूसरे की बात सुनने को तैयार नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं। आपकी इच्छा अनुसार कोई बात कहेगा। प्लीज शक्ति सिंह जी बैठे। आपने अपनी बात कही, दूसरे पक्ष को सुनिए। प्लीज आप बोलिए। Nothing will go on record. Please, आप बोलिए।
Now let me come to what were the contacts between India and the United States. So on the 9th of May, Vice President Vance called up the Prime Minister to warn him that there was, in the American assessment, a massive Pakistani attack which would come in the next few hours. Prime Minister listened and made it very clear that if anything like that happens, it would get a fitting and appropriate response from our side. Now, a few hours later, that happened. And then, sir, that fitting and appropriate response also happened. And that fitting and appropriate response disabled the entire Pakistani air defense system and rendered all their main airfields inoperative. Now, at this stage, we started getting calls saying we think that the Pakistanis are ready to stop fighting. So,
Please,
Secretary
please.
Rubio come.
No, Mr. Surjewala, not allowed, please.
So,
Please speak. So that will go on the record.
the response which we gave, the response we gave to anybody who spoke to us was that the Pakistani side has to make a request, and that request has to come through the DGM. No, wait, no, I'll tell you. Sit down, I'll tell you who called. Now, sir, I want to make three things clear. One, there was no leader, nobody anywhere in the world who asked India to stop its operations. This is something the Prime Minister also said. Number two, there was no linkage with trade. No, I'll tell you. So there is no linkage of trade. There was no linkage of trade in any of those conversations. And there was no call between Prime Minister and President Trump. Now, so
nothing is going on record. Mr. Surjewala, please don't disturb the lady. Please. Please, nothing is going on record. Please.
So I think if honorable members will sit down and allow me to continue.
Please.
During this period, as I said, we had a number of conversations with different countries. We had conversations with the US, we had a conversation with the EU, we had a conversation with Saudi Arabia, and I want to say this. When all the calls which I got are actually on record, they are on my social media record. So it was on the 10th of May, we got calls from US, we got calls from Saudi Arabia, we got calls from a few other countries. Most
नहीं आप इस तरह नहीं, please आप इस तरह आचरण.
So the point is, to everybody the answer was the same. The answer was, if the Pakistanis want to stop fighting, the Pakistanis have to request us. The Pakistanis have to request us through the DGMO channel. And that, sir, is exactly what happened. Now, sir, I would like
Mr. माननीय शक्ति सिंह जी, प्लीज आप बैठ जाए. आप बैठे, संजय जी बैठे, प्लीज. आप बोले, आपकी बात रिकॉर्ड की जाती है.
Sir, I would like to
Please
share what is the response. Sir,
आप डिसऑर्डर मत क्रिएट करें, प्लीज. एज पर रूल्स, गो बाय रूल्स. शक्ति सिंह जी, आप कुछ भी बोले, आप अपनी बात कुछ भी रखें, दूसरे की बात न सुने, सही नहीं है. प्लीज मर्यादित आचरण रखिए, प्लीज.
Sir, I would like to respond to I would like to share with the House how the world responded to this. One, sir, it's very important for the House to recognize that the UN Security Council passed a statement.
Please. Mr. Jairam Ramesh, please take your seat.
Jairam Ramesh, sorry, sir, I should address the remarks to you.
Please.
सर मैं उनको कहना चाहता हूं वो कान खोल के सुन लें कि 22 अप्रैल से 16 जून तक
आप प्लीज
एक भी फोन कॉल प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी के बीच में नहीं।
प्लीज, ये सही परंपरा नहीं। आप अपनी बात कहें और दूसरे पक्ष की बात न सुने, ये लोकतांत्रिक मर्यादा के अनुरूप नहीं है। आप सब लोग धैर्य से सुने, प्लीज प्लीज। आप बोले, आप बोले।
सर अगर now if we come to how the world responded, I think
प्लीज नहीं, रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं जा रहा है। आप दूसरे की बात सुनने को तैयार नहीं है, आप दूसरा पक्ष सुनते नहीं है। प्लीज, आप अपना पक्ष कहते हैं, दूसरे का भी सुनिए प्लीज प्लीज।
in terms of the UN, in terms of the global response, I think most noteworthy was the UN Security Council statement. That statement was very noteworthy because Pakistan was a member of the council. We are not members of the council. Despite not being members of the council, we were able to get the UN Security Council to issue a statement.
बार मैं आपसे अनुरोध कर रहा हूं, कृपया सीट पर बैठकर इस तरह से न चिल्लाएं, न कमेंट्री करें। मैं अनुरोध कर रहा हूं, डू नॉट फोर्स मी प्लीज। जरा सुने प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज। असंसदीय शब्दों का इस्तेमाल न करें प्लीज। बैठ जाइए, आप बोले प्लीज।
So the UN Security Council on the 25th of April, और ये सर आप सोचे कि हम सदस्य नहीं थे, पाकिस्तान सदस्य था, उसके बावजूद our diplomacy was able to get the UN Security Council to issue a statement underlying the need to hold the perpetrators, organizers, financiers and sponsors of Pahalgam act of terrorism accountable and bring them to justice. Now, not only that, in this period, if you look, because a lot of comments were made yesterday, how good was Indian diplomacy? आपके कितने लोगों को समझा पाए, कितने लोगों को इनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग सपोर्ट क्या थी? सर, we had a statement from Quad, we had a statement from BRICS, वो बहुत अलग-अलग ग्रुप थे, but yet Quad was specific in condemning the terrorist attack in Pahalgam and repeating the call of the UN Security Council to bring the perpetrators and organizers to justice without any delay. In the case of BRICS, so the very BRICS which after Mumbai 26/11 could not even use the word cross-border terrorism. आप लोग डिप्लोमेसी की बात कर रहे हैं, आपने मुंबई की बात उठाई नहीं वहां। अब वो लोग जो मुंबई पे चुप रहे, आज सर ज्ञान दे रहे कि हम लोगों को क्या करना चाहिए। और अगर आप ब्रिक्स में देखें, BRICS has a specific reference to cross-border movement of terrorists,
Nothing is going on record, please.
And safe havens. Sir, आगे देखें सर, we were able to get Central Asian countries.
Please.
We were able to get Central Asian countries to oppose providing safe haven using terrorist proxies for cross-border terrorism financing. We were able to give Indian Ocean rim countries. We were able to get Germany. We were able to get France. We were able to get European Union. We were able to get Russia. Sir, अगर आप रशिया का देखें, President Putin has said that this brutal crime has no justification whatsoever and its perpetrators will face a deserved punishment. So, sir, I want to say that in terms of diplomatic support, we were able to get a wide range of countries, including our neighbors. Every one of our neighbors, barring Pakistan, issued a statement expressing solidarity, condemning Pahalgam. So lot of them said explicitly that people should be brought to justice. So I do want to say that in terms of diplomatic understanding of what was happening, that
Let me speak. In such kind of noise, it's all people are on this matter. No. आप सभी लोग एक साथ खड़े होंगे. मैं पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर किसको अलाउ करूं? I cannot. Please, you all sit. Please. Yes, Susmita ji, tell me. Honorable Minister, just a minute. You tell me. Point of
Sir,
order.
Rule 240, irrelevance or repetition. The chairman, after having called attention of the council to the sir, he is repeating everything that is.
Honorable Minister, it's irrelevant. Please.
प्रेस वाला पास में उठाइए या डिस्टर्ब करना जरूर सच्चाई बात है पूरा पॉइंट क्या पॉइंट
Please take your seats. Honorable Minister.
ठीक है सर, डिस्टर्ब नहीं होते.
आप अब कंटिन्यू करिए. आप
तो
कंटिन्यू.
मैं सर डिस्टर्ब वो लोग होते हैं. वो डिस्टर्ब वो लोग होते हैं जब सर हम हिस्ट्री की बात करते हैं, सच्चाई की बात करते हैं, रिकॉर्ड की बात करते हैं, जब तुलना होती है तो बहुत डिस्टर्ब होते हैं. तो सबको समझना चाहिए. सर lot of questions. So questions have been raised about how Operation Sindoor progressed. I don't want to say very much. I just make 4 points. One, anybody who wants to see, who wants to judge what was the success of Operation Sindoor, please go to YouTube and look at the funerals which were taking place in Pakistan. When you see whose funeral, who's attending, you get the answer. Number 2, if you are still not satisfied, please go to YouTube again and please look at the pictures of Pakistani airfields. Please look at the Pakistani airfields. Please see the destruction of Pakistani airfields and you will see how successful Operation Sindoor was. Now, sir, there were 2 great centers of terrorism. 2 great centers of terrorism. दुनिया जानती है सर, हम सब लोग जानते हैं. पिछले 25 साल से सब जानते हैं सर, भावलपुर और मुरीद के. They have been the biggest centers of terrorism directed against India. Today, sir, Bahawalpur and Murid ke are reduced to dust.
Point of order, disorder create करने के लिए I am not entertained. Please, Honorable Minister, रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी, आप अपनी जगह बैठ जाए. आपको बोलने का जब मौका आएगा अपनी बात कहेंगे. No, equality. Please.
So, sir, I want to say this.
Nothing is going on record your
For
person.
decades, Bahawalpur and Murid ke were considered the biggest centers of terrorism, not just in Pakistan, for global terrorism. So let me tell you, when we hit Bahawalpur and Murid ke, the whole world thanked us for what we did. We did a global service. When we reduced it to dust, when those funerals were taking place, when people came to cry over those dead terrorists lying around, that was the success of Operation Sindoor. Now, sir, sometimes people are determinedly skeptical because if government does something, wo us side baithe, they cannot bring themselves to believe it. So I want, sir, to quote from people who are involved on the other side. So Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says, our armed forces were prepared to act at 4:30 in the morning after Fajr prayers to teach a lesson. But before that hour even arrived, India once again launched a missile attack using BrahMos, targeting various provinces of Pakistan, including the airport in Rawalpindi and other places. This is the Prime Minister of Pakistan admitting. People are skeptical कि भाई success हुआ नहीं हुआ. Now he says again, sir, General Munir called me on secure line and said India's ballistic missiles have hit the Noor Khan air base. So when people ask, sir, what brought end to fighting? What brought cessation of fighting? Sir, the Indian armed forces did not require anybody else. The Indian armed forces achieved that. Anybody, I want to say this, sir, anybody who says that some other party brought this about is disrespecting the Indian armed forces. The Indian armed forces ensured this. It was our bombing, it was our strikes, it was our destruction of the airfields. That is what happened on 10th May. That is why the phone call came. That is why they said, okay, we are now willing to accept this. So I think when people, for scoring political points, should not get so carried away that they then decry the great achievements of the Indian armed forces, for which we are all gathered here. I mean, how low can your politics go? So sir, I want, sir, to now come to where we are. Now, I used, sir, the word new normal. I understand there were some objections. Some people thought it's not the right word. I will rephrase it, sir. There are two normals. There is a Congress normal, which I spoke about, and there is a Modi normal. Okay? And let me tell you, sir, what is the Modi normal? The Modi normal is terrorists are not proxies. Number two, cross-border terrorism will get appropriate response in our way at our time. Three, talks and terror will not go together.
Please, John Britas.
If there are talks, it will only be about terror. Number four, we will not give in to nuclear blackmail. And number five, terrorism and good neighborliness cannot go together. And therefore, sir, blood and water will not flow together. And I know some members raised some issues about it, but I want to say, dams may have taken years to build before. This is Modi government. Things are different. You will see the change on the ground. And again, I repeat, blood and water will not flow. Now, sir, some issues have been raised in the debate. With your indulgence, I would like to address some of them. Many of them related to China. That there is a China-Pakistan nexus. And today, sir, people are offering great wisdom on China. In fact, some people have even said that I am not that well versed on China. Sir, I've only spent 41 years in foreign service, only been the longest serving ambassador. But sir, there are China gurus now. One, sir, is honorable member sitting across me. Whose affection for China is so great, sir, उन्होंने एक संधि बना ली थी चाइना और इंडिया की, चिंडिया। तो इतनी मोहब्बत थी सर कि उसको संधि बना ली। अब सर इनको छोड़िए, इनके अलावा एक और चाइना गुरु है। अब सर अब ऐसा है
जयराम जी
सर, हो सकता है कि चाइना पर मेरे यहाँ से कुछ कमी हो, क्योंकि सर I did not get China teaching by going to Olympics. किसी ने मुझे बुलाया नहीं सर. I was not a special person. तो कुछ लोग जो हैं उनका चाइना ज्ञान जो है ओलंपिक्स जाने से हुआ। अब सर कभी-कभी अब सर जब ओलंपिक्स में गए, किनसे मिले और क्या हस्ताक्षर किया, उसकी तो बात ही नहीं करते। और सर जो मिले वो खाली चाइना से नहीं थे, कहीं और से भी थे, तो उसको मैं छोड़ देता हूँ, मैं बात नहीं करता उसके बारे में। पर सर कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि जब ओलंपिक्स की क्लासरूम होती है ना, जब ओलंपिक्स की क्लासरूम होती है, कहीं सर कुछ बातें छूट जाती तो प्राइवेट ट्यूशन भी लेना पड़ता है। तो ये प्राइवेट ट्यूशन चाइनीज एम्बेसडर से लेते हैं, तो चाइनीज एम्बेसडर को घर में बुला के प्राइवेट ट्यूशन लेते हैं। तो अब ये चाइना गुरु का कहना है कि सर कि चाइना पाकिस्तान आज बहुत नजदीक आ गए। सर है, हकीकत है, पर कैसे पास आए सर, कैसे नजदीक आए? क्योंकि हम लोगों ने बीच में पीओके की धरती छोड़ दी थी। हम लोगों ने सर, ये चाइना पाकिस्तान की बात कब से शुरू हुई? 62-63 से शुरू। 63 में पाकिस्तान ने चाइना को शशगम वैली दिया। 67 में काराकोरम हाईवे की प्लानिंग शुरू हुई। 88 में काराकोरम हाईवे खत्म हुई सर। 88 में 86 आप जानते हैं सर किसकी सरकार थी। 67 में पाकिस्तान चाइना का मिलिट्री कोऑपरेशन 67 में शुरू हुआ और न्यूक्लियर कोलैबोरेशन 76 10 साल बाद। तो जब सर यहाँ के प्रधानमंत्री पाकिस्तान और चाइना 80s में जा रहे थे और कह रहे थे कि इन दोनों के साथ समझौता होने वाले हैं, दैट वाज द वेरी टाइम व्हेन द न्यूक्लियर कोलैबोरेशन वाज एट इट्स हाइट। अब आगे बढ़िए सर, 2005 में पाकिस्तान ट्रीटी ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप, पाकिस्तान चाइना ट्रीटी ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप। 2006 में पाकिस्तान चाइना फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट। 2013 में ग्वादर पोर्ट की ट्रांसफर। 2005 में हम्बनटोटा पर हस्ताक्षर। 2008 में काम शुरू हो। तो जब आज बात करते हैं सर कि चाइना पाकिस्तान नजदीक आ गया है सर, हमें पता है, हकीकत, हम इसके साथ डील कर, पर ये कहना कि ये अचानक हो गया और मैं चेतावनी दे रहा हूं और किसी को पता नहीं है। साहब आप हिस्ट्री क्लास में सो रहे थे। तो अब सर मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं, आप जो चेतावनी दे रहे हैं सर, वो 10 साल, वो यूपीए के दशक में देखिए क्या हुआ। और मैं जानता हूं सर, उसमें चाइना को स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर बनाया, घोषित किया गया सर, स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर। सर हमारे यहाँ एक जनरल थे, ईस्टर्न कमांड के जनरल थे, जब मैं राजदूत था चाइना में, उन्होंने मेरे से पूछा कि देखिए मैं फौज का आदमी हूं, मेरे लिए सब ब्लैक व्हाइट होना चाहिए, आप मुझे समझाइए कि ये पड़ोसी जो आज भी हमारे धरती पर इसकी क्लेम है, जिसके साथ हमारी युद्ध हो चुकी है, जिसके साथ रोज तनाव है, इसको आप स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर कैसे घोषित कर सकते? और मैंने कहा कि भाई मैं डिप्लोमेट हूं, पर मैं भी हैरान, मेरे पास भी एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं था, क्योंकि सर ये आया कहीं और से। देखिए इस दशक में और क्या हुआ। इस दशक में 2006 में इस दशक में 2006 में रीजनल ट्रेडिंग
बैठ कर कंटिन्यू करें, कोई बात नहीं, आपको नहीं जा रही
सर। 3G 4G चाइनीज कंपनीज ने यहाँ उनको निमंत्रण किया कि भाई आप आइए, 3G 4G बसाई कर यहाँ बसाइए। हाँ सर 2006 में जब प्रेसिडेंट हू जिनताओ भारत आए थे, उस समय निर्णय हुआ कि हम चाइना के साथ रीजनल ट्रेडिंग एग्रीमेंट FTA जैसे करेंगे। इसके लिए टास्क फोर्स की घोषणा हुई, टास्क फोर्स ने रिकमेंडेशन दिया और वो फिर आपने टेलीकॉम
Please take your seat. Please take. No, you cannot.
टेलीकॉम
When your opportunity comes, you speak. No.
टेलीकॉम जैसे सेंसिटिव क्षेत्र में चाइनीज कंपनीज को आपने निमंत्रित किया। फिर सम्मान पर आज सर
Mr. John Prakash, please take your seat.
लोग राष्ट्र सुरक्षा की बात करते हैं। सबसे बड़ा नुकसान सर हमारे लिए।
Please take your seat. नहीं रिपोर्ट पे जा रहा, आप बैठ करके आप खुद स्वतः खड़े होकर कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकते। आप प्लीज फॉलो द रूल्स, प्लीज। आप बोले,
चाइना
आप बोले।
अगर समुद्री क्षेत्र में अगर समुद्री क्षेत्र में भारत को कहीं पिछले 20 साल में कहीं नुकसान पहुंचा है,
आपको मौका आएगा तो बोलेंगे, आप डिस्टर्ब ना करें। आपको मौका आएगा बोलिएगा, प्लीज।
सर अगर
आपको मिल चुका है आपकी पार्टी को, प्लीज नो, प्लीज
अगर समुद्री क्षेत्र में भारत को पिछले 20 साल में कहीं नुकसान, कहीं चोट पहुंची है सर, सबसे बड़ी चोट जो है हम्बान टोटा बंदरगाह बनने के कारण, और ये सब 2005 में तय हुआ। और आप हैरान होंगे सर कि जब 5 और 8 के बीच में ये बंदरगाह बनाई गई, और उस समय सर आपको पता सरकार ने क्या कहा कि हमारे लिए ये चिंता का विषय नहीं है। ये बात उठाई गई, इस सदन में उठाई गई, इस सदन में जवाब दिया गया कि हमारे लिए ये विषय नहीं। और सर नेपाल की बात करते हैं, आप जानते हैं सर कि पहला एग्रीमेंट हथियार देने का चीन से नेपाल 2008 में तब तय हुआ जब सरकार पलट गई नेपाल। ग्वादार को देखिए सर, 2013 में चाइना ने वहां ऑपरेशन शुरू किया। तो आज सर जो चाइना गुरु हमें ज्ञान देते हैं, चाइना गुरु ज्ञान देते हैं कि भाई ये कुछ होने वाला है, ये दोनों जुड़े हैं। अरे कैसे जुड़े, किसके समय में जुड़े, किसने जुड़ाया? और आप जब ओलंपिक गए, आप किन किन से मिले इसको डिस्कस करने? तो सर कल वो अभी तो बैठे नहीं हैं सर, हमारे माननीय संसद सदस्य चिदम्बरम जी, उन्होंने कहा सर, उन्होंने पूछा मेरे से कि आप चाइना गए तो आपने क्या डिस्कस किया? सर मैं चाइना गया, whatever I said, whatever I did was public, it was open, it was clear. Sir, I discussed terrorism, I discussed de-escalation, I discussed restrictions on trade which China has put. I made it clear that relations with China will develop only on the basis of 3 mutuals: mutual interest, mutual sensitivity, mutual respect. So,
please listen. You are not allowing him to speak. No, you are disturbing. Please.
Sir, no, please. Because उन लोगों की आदत है. I want to make one clear. Unlike some other people, I had no secret meetings. I did no secret agreements. ये मैंने नहीं किया. वो खाली ओलंपिक वाले करते, वो नॉर्मल लोग नहीं करते. चाइना गुरु किया, चाइना गुरु करते. अब सर ये पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर की बात हो रही थी. ये कुछ लोगों का मत था कि भाई कब रिकवर होगा, और जैसे राजनाथ जी ने कहा सर कि हमें पूरा विश्वास है सर कि एक दिन जरूर होगा, और ये सदन की सोच भी है. ये खाली मेरी सोच नहीं है, ना सरकार की सोच, ये पूरे सदन, पूरे देश की सोच है. पर मैं सर एक बार आपको याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ, हम कहते हैं 47, 48, 49 में बात बनी, पर सर 63 में नेगोशिएशंस हुए इस पे. 65 में हाजीपीर की बात हुई सर, लौटाया गया. 72 में जो जमीन जो हमारे हाथ में था वो भी लौटाया गया. तो आज जब लोग पूछ रहे, जिनके मन में कभी कल्पना नहीं थी कि भावलपुर और मुरीद के गिराएंगे, जिन्होंने कहा कि बेस्ट वे ऑफ डीलिंग विद मुंबई इज इनएक्शन, that we should not go to war because that is not attack Pakistan, because better option than attacking Pakistan, वो लोग सब पूछ रहे पीओके के बारे में. ये कैसा सवाल है उनसे? और सर यूएस और पाकिस्तान की भी बात कहीं जिक्र हुई सर. यूएस और पाकिस्तान, अब सर ये कोई सीक्रेट नहीं है कि पाकिस्तान के बारे में हमारी सोच कुछ और है, अमेरिका की सोच कुछ और है. ये आज की बात नहीं. So historically, we have had a different view, we have had different policy, we have had different interests, and it has been a problem between India and United States. Not today, not between this government and that administration, previous government and then administration also. I have been in the room, sir. I have been in the room when America was taking up the case of General Musharraf and asking for concessions on Kashmir. So I want to say this, that on this issue, we have a national policy. No mediation is a national policy. Bilateral dealing is a national policy. I hope today no talks without, that is no terror, only then talks will also be a national policy and everybody will agree. So it is not the first time that we've had differences with the United States. So there were some other questions which were raised about US. You know, have we stood up and taken up various issues? Sir, I would like to inform the House through you, sir. Every issue that we have had with the United States, we have had no hesitation taking up. We took up deportations. Today, we do not have that problem. We took up visas. We took up the cause of students. Now, Mr. Chidambaram requested whether we should take up Harvard, sir. मैं तो JNU का पढ़ा हूँ, sir. मैं Harvard का नहीं हूँ. So I hesitated to take up Harvard. And sir, I want to say this. Today, we are negotiating a trade agreement. Why are we negotiating a trade agreement? Because we have national interest at heart. We have national interest at heart and we are negotiating a trade agreement that will serve our national interest. So there should be no doubt that this government is fully committed to our national interest. We have the ability to stand up to wherever we have to, on whichever issue we have to. So what is important today for the House to recognize is Operation Sindoor today is a well-considered, thought-through response. It was a response to this barbaric attack in Pahalgam. But today it has become the basis for a new policy. That basis, what I called the new normal, the Modi normal, is something which has